Okay, this is gonna be like a little quickie for, well, quick info about this. Honestly, at this point, I'm just tired of people on Twitter just constantly bashing on on the latest drama in Hoyoverse Honkai Star Rail. First of all, honestly, you guys are just attacking people who defend Chris, and it's kind of a little ridiculous because one, they are being deceived by Chris because Chris happens to be a pathological liar and manipulator, and his he could be deceiving his colleagues, honestly, at this point. So why is everybody bashing on people that are defending Chris is beyond me, when honestly, you guys should be focusing all that on Chris instead of attacking anybody who defends him. Especially the voice actor of Sunday, Griffin. Griffin honestly did not deserve any of this because, one, he's being deceived because he honestly believes in the good of everybody. I can tell he's a nice guy who wants to believe the good in everybody and wants to give people a second chance. But the moment that people are the moment he defends Chris saying that he's changed, that post that he made, did he word it correct right? He worded his thing. Worded it poorly, but you guys decided to twist his words. That's one thing that I noticed is that everybody is just twisting his words when he's not victim blaming. He really isn't. He's saying you guys just want to read what you want to see, and that's the problem here. You guys are just so hot-blooded. You didn't think. Didn't it ever occur to you that he's trying to tell us to not, we don't have the right to judge where Chris or whatever any criminal does. Criminals, even if they get out of prison, they want to live. They want to eat. They want to have a roof over their head. They don't want to be homeless. So why are you guys preventing a criminal or so quote unquote criminal to not eat? Yes, there are other jobs, but voice acting, you really don't get paid much. So he probably has multiple jobs. And the people are saying that he probably didn't go to therapy. That's the thing. When you go to court, the court will force you to go to therapy or counseling. So he was really forced into going to therapy regardless of what people say. Another thing is, let me see, what was it? Yes. When what Griffin was trying to say is, even if you're the victim, some forgive him, some don't, and do not twist my words and think I'm victim blaming, but I'm not. Even if though you are the victim, you have to, understand how reality is. You can't just force someone to quit their job right away. We have what happens to Chris is none of our concern. Even as a victim, you should focus on recovering. You should focus on therapy. You should focus on self-healing. You should be focusing on anything but this topic. I noticed that some of the victims did come on to here, but here's the thing. Here's the thing about me. I have seen the horrible negative side of society throughout my entire childhood. Racists, drug dealers, junkies, just prejudice all over, and mostly, police. I've seen, and I was literally raised in the ghetto, and I've seen the horrible things that no child should see. So I've seen a lot of ugliness, a lot of negative, and I have been backstabbed multiple times. So I can tell, I can, no offense, but what I'm saying is I can tell that some of the victims here are just hopping on the hate train. If you're a an actual, just because you're a victim does not give you the privilege to, bash, to lash out and attack the person who abused you, because that makes you no better than the person who actually abused you. You really need to do better. If you don't, as a victim, you're supposed to avoid all of this. So why are you coming out? Some of these victims are just coming out of spite, and that's not really a good thing. If you want to overcome that trauma and hurt that person done to you, you're not supposed to come back and bite them, because that makes you no better. Now, here's the thing. I'm not victim blaming. I'm just calling y'all out. I'm calling some of you victims out for this type of action. Because an actual victim should stay far away from Chris. Y'all should not have anything to do with this Chris topic. Some of y'all just came out here out of spite or a petty, and that's not, And even if you try to trauma dump on on the post that you made, you even try to trauma dump. That's not, no. Do not do that. That's not nice. Nobody wants to see that. Trauma dumping just to add fuel to the fire, and no. What Griffin was trying to say is he wasn't trying to tell anyone or the victims to get over it. No, he wasn't. What he was trying to say is that no one has to right. Nobody has the right to tell Chris what to do. Some of us are adults here. And honestly, in my opinion, I really don't give a fuck about Chris. We are outsiders. We don't make the decision here. So why are you guys trying so hard to cancel somebody when in reality you can't do shit? You really can't. You really can't do anything, because Chris has been doing his voice acting career for the past 5 years since this happened. So why are you guys making a fuss now is the question. It's because it's Hoyoverse. You guys are constantly bashing on anybody who works for Hoyoverse. And that's not good but here's the thing. Griffin, well, no, not Griffin. I mean, Chris was actually a voice actor of an NPC in one of the Sumeru quests. But y'all didn't make a big stink because he was a voice actor of an NPC. So like, oh, okay. But the moment he gets a major role, like a 4-star character of all things, y'all make a big fuss now. Honestly, and now he's stepped down, which is okay. But at the same time, you guys are ridiculous. Words are cheap. Anybody can say anything, especially on the internet. So the fact that you guys are making a huge deal, y'all really shouldn't give a fuck about what he does. So what am I trying to say is, I don't care. I don't care about the voice actors, I just want to play the game. I literally just want to mind my business and play the damn game, because we are just outsiders. And what he did was wrong. But at the same time, you guys really need to learn to chill and stop being like Twitter keyboard warriors, because honestly, it's kind of ridiculous that you guys are just, wanting to cancel someone just because of this and that. Honestly, it's really none of our business at the end of the day, because in reality, we are silent. But once we are behind the screen, behind our PC screen or phone screen, We're just, lashing out, showing our true colors, but in reality, we are silent. So you guys really need to chill and stop, y'all should apologize to Griffin because he's literally being deceived by Chris here. Some say that Chris hasn't changed at all, but some haven't. What you guys are failing to see is Chris could be using his colleagues to take the heat off as much as possible, and yet you guys don't see that. All I see is a manipulator and a liar who is trying to use connections to still do what he wants, like to still voice act. As long as he has connections, we can't do shit. So, honestly, y'all need to step down. He's just like Chris did. And y'all need to apologize to Griffin because what he was trying to convince you guys to at least give Chris a chance, but you guys decided to act like hot-blooded, headless chickens and attack him. And like I said, don't twist my words here. Because 1, I'm not victim blaming. 2, I'm calling you guys out for the ridiculous actions you guys have made. I rest my case.